Hi, I'm Neil. I'm the Cruiser Bike Kid, and this is my garage. I don't know, I've always been with bicycles ever since I was able to ride one. It's always been a major part of my life, and I really like old stuff. I like finding out where stuff came from and going back to the roots. And I also enjoy just taking somebody else's discarded trash and turning it into a rolling gem. With bicycles, I started out as a bike builder at a bike shop in Victoria, and I did that for a couple of years while the head mechanic taught me how to work on all the bikes as they came through the door. And I worked my way at that shop for 4 years up to head mechanic position myself, and then moved to North Vancouver from Victoria to the epicenter of the mountain bike community of the North Shore. And I worked at a bike shop there as well and worked up to a head mechanic position. So I have about 9 years of bike shop mechanic training. Well, I was heavily into mountain biking for a long time, and I had an injury in my wrist, of which I was in a cast for a while, over 8 months, and I couldn't ride my bike. I brought a handlebar into the class cast clinic and shaped the cast around the handlebar so I could still ride, and I kept breaking my cast. So he wouldn't let me do that anymore after the third cracked cast. So I brought a pop can in and I shaped it around a beer can. And I sold my BMX bike and bought my first cruiser bike. It was a modern reproduction. And through working at the bike shop, I became hip to these old rides that Rod was putting on. And I came out and I saw all these old beautiful bikes, and I was hooked from then on. I had to have one. And once I had one, I had to have two. And then next thing you know, I have over 40. Well, it's kind of getting out of control. I have too many bicycles. To get them out of the garage, I put them on display at pubs and restaurants and bike shops and stuff to try to get them out of here and get them out on display. And I think the only way I can go further is to find a way of which other people can enjoy my bikes. I currently fix them and try to resell them, a number of them, and a lot of them I just can't part with. So I've been starting to rent them out to the film industry and other people that need them. And so I guess I'm going to have my website rolling soon, which will have them all cataloged and able for people to choose and rent and buy. The bike itself, it takes me anywhere from a couple of good long sessions on it, 8 to 16 hours, to a full week or so of nonstop. And then often they're missing pieces or pieces are broken, and I try really hard to replace them with the actual period correct parts and keep them original. So sometimes I can have open projects for years. Okay, well, this is probably one of my favorite bikes. Definitely the top 5 coolest bikes of all time. It's a 1939 Elgin twin bar, and what makes this cool and rare is it has no seat tube here. And the idea was to give it kind of a streamlined appeal as well as a shock absorbent ride. They're very collectible because they always broke. You get a big guy on this bike and hammering like kids do, and they break. So to have one that's never been repaired or still in one piece is quite uncommon. It's very unique. It was made for Sears and Roebuck for the department store. It has a teardrop streamline everything. Teardrop pedals, teardrop grips, the whole frame itself. And teardrop shaped fenders. Cooling fin front and rear have very specific pieces on it that you won't find on any other bike. They only made it for 4 years, and this is the second year that they made it. And it's probably one of my favorite bikes. This is one of my favorite ones to ride. I don't commonly repaint bikes. I only repaint it if the original paint has been painted at one time. This one took me about 2 years to get together, and I'm still missing the proper headlight. It would have these same louvers on it to match. But since it was already repainted and poorly at that, I just gave it a quick sandblast and a flat black, and this turned into my favorite rider. I rigged a 3-speed suicide shifter on it to make it a little more rideable, because the thing weighs about 60 pounds. It goes downhill really good though. I also recover saddles. Often when I find the bikes, they've been sitting in barns and out in farmers' fields for 20, 30 years, and all the material is rotten right off the saddle. So this is roughly the condition that I'd get it in. And I reproduce a nice comfortable foam fitting pad on it. Sandblast and repaint and clean this undercarriage up as best as possible. Then I use an appropriate leather that would wear well over time, hopefully work in with patina from the rider riding it. And then eventually it gets its own kind of wear to look like it's an original old saddle. But a good comfortable saddle makes all the difference while riding a bike. I have a tool called a fender roller, and I know that there's no other one of these in the province. I used to send my fenders down to the States to get the dents rolled out. But basically I would feed it through the fender roller and roll the dents out. I could take a completely crushed fender and bring it back to like new condition. I've always been into bikes, and that hasn't changed very much in a long time. I'm focusing now on specifically 1930s to 1960s American balloon tire bicycles, and that's pretty much what I do. I like hunting down the old bikes and finding them and then restoring them, making them roll again. So yeah, if you want to give me an email, I'll be happy to fix up your old bike or take it off your hands. Now, feel free to give me an email, and I'd be happy to tell you about the next ride. And if you need your bike fixed, I'm your guy.